Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to SP Reviews, where today we have ourselves a track by an act named Sinseerly Tay titled Have You Ever? And if we switch over to here, I'll just be a second. We have the audio, the official audio for Have You Ever. We've also got lyrics down here that we can have a look through as well. It's quite a lot. It's not often you get rappers putting their lyrics for it. Usually it's a lot of the kind of the pop and rock music that I have, so I'm probably just going to briefly summarize those lyrics and just double check that I haven't missed anything from the song itself. But yeah, we're going to listen through this track from start till finish first off. Here we think. Let's go. Did I hear that right? Did it just start like that? Oh, it did, okay. Before we go any further, I want to say that piano line is sounding nice and fresh with those drums. A little bit of vocals in there just to hint at what's to come, but not too much. It sort of teases you a little bit, you know what I mean? Have you ever? Really interesting single art, by the way. I really enjoy that. It does make you wonder what you're getting yourself into with this track. And it's under that 10-second mark to avoid the intro core kind of thing, which is cool as well.
Shattered glass, I hit a pass, could never grasp all the pain that I done had. Missing my dad, all my niggas that I done had. I done been through some hard times, but you don't know the half. I spill my pain, but sometimes I gotta laugh. I seen some shots, I was standing right on the block. Whipping stolos, I was dodging it from the cop. It's Stephen Burr and Devon, that's all I got.
Stephen Burr and LeBron is all I got. Damn, this guy's went through some horrendous times from what we've heard with the lyrics so far. Sounds like an awful time, actually. I'm wondering where we're going with the story. The piano sounds both retrospective and like it's mourning. It's got a sense of loss to it, you know?
Have you ever missed your dog and you can't even see him? Have you ever been so cold and you ain't got a heater? Have you ever missed your dog and you can't even see him? Have you ever been so cold and you ain't have a heater?
Have you ever been so cold? That's the chorus. Straight into it, man. There was no need for an additional transitory device. Straight into those important questions. No hesitation. I can actually say that I have. I mean, I was homeless for a little while, but just if we're discussing purely the lyrics, I understand what it's like to be so freezing cold and not sure of what's going to happen next, you know?
Yeah.
It's horrendous, you know? People shouldn't have to live like that.
Sincere.
And again, what Sinseerly Tay is describing is on a whole nother level, you know? It's terrible.
Have you ever seen a fiend that never chased their dream? Have you ever slept in Vandos, showing up with the same clothes? Pops off that liquor, mom come and get us. We used to cry together, Bear was my protector. I used to steal Steve clothes, but he kept it G-Dough. Used to paint my Reeboks. That's when Deuce used to show up with them shoes. Daddy 38 had me fall in love with tools. I used to hit licks, coming home with jewels. They thought I sold.
There's a nice sub-bass resonance coming in here. There's a new element that I haven't heard yet. It's good to have that mild bit of development as we go through. The story that's being told and the vocals with the melodies, this melodic rapping is more than interesting enough. But we're just paying attention to keep things sounding interesting, and little changes matter, you know?
But I was wearing rainy shoes. Those were the quarter days. Dang, I missed the quarter days. I was kidnapped at 13. That's my daughter age. Have you ever missed?
Shit. Imagine being kidnapped at 13, right? I can't. It's hard-hitting stuff, you know? Same age as his daughter.
Your dog and you can't even see him. Have you ever been so cold and you ain't got a heater? Have you ever missed your dog and you can't even see him? Have you ever been so cold and you ain't have a heater?
There's some interesting vocal modulation going on here in the effects chain. I think it works well as a melodic device. That kind of synthetic digitized vibe that's common in a lot of hip-hop in the 21st century.
We was in the conquering. Mama at the job again. Mama changed the light though. Everything I ate though. Church van coming. Every single night though. You hit all you see is light show. Shaky was the peacemaker. Me and Mika fighting though. And where Eric go, yeah, your brother going too. Them is my sisters, bet nobody mess with them. I thank my mama dearly for putting God fear in me. Thought I had the wheel, but God, he was steering me. Kept me from death. Got no friends left, so I stayed to myself. and I pick your word up. That's real wealth. Have you ever missed your dog and you can't even see him? Have you ever been so cold and you ain't got a heater? Have you ever missed your dog and you can't even see him? Have you ever been so cold and...
Damn. Talking about keeping to himself. Being thankful that his mother put the fear of God in him. Having that inner strength was struggling like that. Having to protect his sister and all that. That, you know, like appreciating when we just were able to have the lights on. It's, yeah. The music is you know, I say that it sounds sad with these minor chords and arpeggios, but there's a sense of beauty to it in a weird way. It's almost like it's trying to illustrate that there's a complexity to the situation and that there's gratitude for having pulled through all this that's occurred, you know. Because Sinseerly Tay is here telling us their story right now, you know. They're alive. They managed to make their way through it. I think that part of the music is thankful that they were able to get there in the end. But there's also, again, a sense of mourning to it. A continuous vibe that echoes throughout this track.
You ain't ever heater.
Really fantastic piano melodies, and I like the arpeggiated run on this. I don't think it would have made sense for the pianos to be playing chords. It would have been a little bit too percussive for the vibe of the track, especially when you already had the drums going there, you know? Kind of sounds like it's rolling past you like time flying by. You know, as we look over our life and wonder where we've come from, where we've gone, you know, or asking if the listener has ever been able to relate to that, you know? Unfortunately, I think that there will be a lot of people who can relate to situations like this, and it's again, I've said it enough times. It's absolutely terrible. But I think this has been a thoroughly mature and sophisticated take on the subject matter, and I think that Sinseerly Tay has done a great job of communicating and also grafting together instruments and their own individual parts that make for a really endearing musical experience. Yeah, talking about how he didn't have a dad in his life, missing his dad. His friends were all he had, you know. Yeah, I think, you know, it's really sad to not be able to meet your friends, you know, like, because a lot of us lose friends for whatever reason. People just move away from your life, or they do things that ruin the friendships. And other friends, legitimately, a lot of people struggle with mental health issues and stuff like that nowadays. Or other people make decisions that affect your friends, and they're just not. One day they're there, and next day they're not, you know. Have you ever slept in van doors, showed up with same clothes? Stephen, Bear, and Davin were the friends that he was talking about. They were the people that he was with at that time. It was great to hear that his mama changed her life. Everything right though, you know? Thought I had the wheel, but it was God steering me, keeping me from death. Got no friends left, so I say to self, and I pick your word up, that's real wealth. I feel depressed after listening to this. I feel incredibly sad for Sinseerly Tay and what they went through. I really don't see it as being particularly fair at all, you know. I'm glad that he was able to express gratitude for, you know, to even be able to have a balanced opinion on some of the stuff with what he went through is remarkable, you know. A lot of people, stuff like that happens to them and it destroys them, but I don't want to psychoanalyze the situation or anything like that. We had a man telling us, exposing himself, showing vulnerability within this hip hop and rap, and I'm grateful and appreciative. There's no fronting or anything like that. It was all authentic and genuine. And I love that. I love that authenticity when it comes through in this type of music, especially because when you have a lyricist as capable as Sinseerly Tay, you also have the situation where the production's pretty tight. And then if the story is on point, that's basically a triple threat. If you got the performance, you got the story, you got the production, you are done. You don't need to have an overcomplicated arrangement with lots of different instruments. Have little bits of sparkle occasionally, like with some of the lower synth basses where things get a little bit heavier, or you know, that occasional sparkly pad that I heard. There was just that one idea. It kept going for that 3 minutes. That one musical motif that continued and repeated, and bits got taken away and put back. And then finally, of course, you have the production, the recording, mixing, and mastering, which is sensational. I've got no real complaints about that either. You know, everything was well balanced and EQ'd, and the stereo painting was great too. There was just the right amount of compression on the vocals. They stood out and made sense all the time, as well as some of the vocal modulation with the tuning and stuff like that was pretty dope. And then you had the compression limiting as well, which is wild. Nothing was pumping. Whoever is working with Sinseerly Tay at this point, they need to be kept on because they're doing a fantastic job. And I guess finally, it's great to see Sinseerly Tay getting some attention. 32,000 views is pretty good for the space of a month, you know. Well done. You know, this is effectively, though, my review of Sinseerly Tay's Have You Ever. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy this track, please do go show Sinseerly Tay some love via their various social medias and YouTube page. And stay cool and stay safe, and please also remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as they either help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. Catch you in the next review. Spiderhands out.